Hello. Welcome back to the Treffine Hickman Library in Cedar Hill, Texas. I'm Miss Ann, and this is the K2 Read Along. This month, we'll be reading Libby Loves Science, States of Matter by Kimberly Deering, illustrated by Shelley R. Johans. If you've come down to the library and picked up your white book bag, please join in with me. Tomorrow, a new student is joining our class, said Libby's science teacher, Mr. Darwin. Her name is Fatima. Libby raised her hand. Let's throw a welcome party for her, she said. That's a great idea, said Mr. Darwin. Welcome, Fatima. Libby and her friends were excited to meet Fatima. I can make a welcome sign, said Finn. I can get decorations, Rosa said. I can bring ingredients for ice cream sundaes, said Libby. The next morning, Libby grabbed sprinkles, gummy bears, cookies, and marshmallows from the kitchen cabinet. She packed up whipped cream, ice cream, and chocolate chips. Libby's mother drove her to school. Don't forget to put the ice cream in the freezer, Libby's mother said. I won't. Libby jumped out of the car. Bye, Mom. Libby raced into school with a bag full of fun ingredients. She couldn't wait. I'd be excited too, wouldn't you? Libby and her friends decorated the classroom for the welcome party. They hung up the sign, they strung the streamers. Libby put her bag on the floor and set out all the sundae toppings on the table. Is Libby forgetting something? Let's see what happens. The new student arrived just after the bell rang. Everyone, this is Fatima, said Mr. Darwin. Hi, Fatima, they all said together. Fatima smiled and sat down next to Libby. Is it time for the party? Finn asked. Why don't we do some science first? Said Mr. Darwin. I love science, Fatima said. Me too, Libby said. Science is the best. Do you love science? Today, we will learn about the different states of matter, Mr. Darwin said. Matter is anything that takes up space and has mass. Mr. Darwin pointed to the board. There are 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. My dog has gas, Finn said. Everyone laughed, even Mr. Darwin. Is that the kind of gas he's talking about? Mr. Darwin got some ice from the freezer. Let's start with solids, he said. A solid is something that keeps its shape, such as this ice, or that microscope, Libby said, pointing. Or a pencil, Rosa said, holding hers up. Or my chair, said Fatima. Finn raised his hand. Does that mean that everything in the classroom is a solid? Yes, except for anything that's a liquid or a gas, Mr. Darwin explained. Mr. Darwin filled a glass of water. A liquid is anything that flows freely and doesn't have a shape, he said. So it takes the shape of its container. See how this water is now the shape of the glass? Water is a liquid. Is milk a liquid? Rosa asked. Is juice? Fatima asked. Is oil? Libby asked. Yes, those are all liquids too, said Mr. Darwin. Next, let's talk about gas, said Mr. Darwin. Remember, liquids flow freely and take the shape of a container. A gas also has no shape and flows freely, but unlike a liquid, it expands to fill all of the container it is in. Mr. Darwin said as he held up a jar, "You can't see it, but this jar is full of air." That means oxygen is a gas, Fatima said. Right, said Mr. Darwin. And nitrogen, said Finn. Right again, said Mr. Darwin. Air is made up of nitrogen and oxygen. The 3 states of matter are amazing, said Libby. Does anyone have any questions? Mr. Darwin asked. Fatima raised her hand. Is there anything that can be all 3 states at different times? Great question, said Mr. Darwin. Any guesses? I know, Libby exclaimed. Water. Water can be ice, water, and steam. You got it, Mr. Darwin checked the clock. Before we go to recess, what are the 3 states of matter called again? He said. Solid, liquid, and gas, the class said together. Is everyone ready for Fatima's welcome party? Mr. Darwin asked after recess. Yes, Libby and her friends yelled. I'm definitely ready for ice cream sundaes, Finn said. Me too, said Libby. She went to get the ice cream out of the bag on the floor. Can you guess what happened to the ice cream? Libby opened the container and saw the ice cream had melted. Oh no, Libby said. I forgot to put the ice cream in the freezer. Rosa looked at the milky mess. It was a solid, but that is definitely a liquid now. What will we have as a special treat? Finn asked. What can they do instead? Ideas? Mr. Darwin, do you have anything else we can use? Asked Libby. I have hot chocolate mix, said Mr. Darwin. Yum, that's perfect, Libby said. Mr. Darwin made hot chocolate for everyone. Do you use the 3 states of matter when making hot chocolate? Libby pointed at the steam coming from her mug. Hey, this steam is a gas. Mr. Darwin nodded. That's right. Rosa dumped marshmallows into her cup. These are solids, she said. Finn looked into his mug, and this cocoa is a liquid. Those are the 3 states of matter, Fatima said. Solids, liquids, and gases are everywhere. Look, Rosa said, my marshmallows are melting. They are turning into a liquid, said Fatima. That gave Libby an idea. What if we cool down the hot chocolate and add toppings to make a special cocoa surprise, she said. Fatima nodded. We can use ice to cool it, she said. Then the toppings won't melt, added Finn. That's a great idea, said Rosa. Mr. Darwin handed out ice cubes. Everyone dropped ice into their hot chocolate and waited for it to cool. What do you think of their idea? Will it work? Will it be tasty? Now for the toppings, Libby said. Rosa used tons of sprinkles. Finn added gummy bears and cookie crumbs. Fatima made a whipped cream mountain covered with marshmallows and chocolate chips. Libby used a little bit of everything. This is awesome, Fatima said. Welcome to our school, said Libby. The special cocoa treats were delicious. The welcome party was a big success. Best of all, Libby had a new friend who loved science as much as she did. When you look at the next page of the book, it gives you special recipes that you can make at home and practice the 3 states of matter. If you haven't already picked up your bag at the library, it looks like this, and it includes activities about the 3 states of matter. Well, friends, that's all for this month. I hope you enjoy this and keep reading. See you in February.